What is vision? Vision is simply having an idea of where God is leading you. As you know, at the beginning of lockdown, we went through a process called Refocus. We did 5 weeks of sermons and house groups did 5 weeks of studies on what is the church, what is our focus, how might the church look in the future, how are we to be salt and light, as well as looking at other topics and tangents that came out of that. We then asked you, all the congregation, to do a questionnaire, to fill in what you thought our strengths were as a church, what you thought the things we need to work on were as a church, looking at our growth and at our decline. Overwhelmingly, the top thing that came out about what we're doing well is that you as a congregation said we were a welcoming and loving community. The next thing was that the leadership was serving us well. But the decline, the things that we said were declining and taking our energy, the ultimate one was that keeping the show on the road takes all of our time and energy, and that we weren't overly willing to try new things. So the stewards had an away day over Zoom to look at all of those different aspects, and we were overwhelmed at just how many different activities and events and groups members of this church are involved in. There is hardly a group in Andover which doesn't have a member of Bridge Street Methodist within it, and that's really exciting. Because that led us to think about what is our passion. And when we come up with mission ideas, and we asked you to come up with mission ideas, a lot of them were around this idea of justice, of loneliness, of substance misuse and abuse, of offering a space, using our space here as sanctuary for those who are facing violence, or for those who are, at this point in time, homeless. The overwhelming thread was that people of this church wanted to change Andover and wanted to make Andover better. They wanted to be involved in dealing with the issues, showing practically the love of God with people who society often neglects and overlooks. And we think that what God is saying to us at this point in time is that Bridge Street Methodist Church is a church that wants to change Andover. And it wants to do that by being a community of love, of hope, and of justice. Of loving people like Jesus, offering hope because of Jesus, and living a life like Jesus through justice. And that will mean various things. That will mean looking at all the groups that we currently do and how effective are they at fulfilling that vision and that mission, if that is the vision and mission which you as church council and as church members also feel God is calling us to do. How do we tackle those issues of loneliness? Some of those ideas are big. How do you tackle all the injustice in Andover? Well, simply we don't on our own. But we work together with other churches, with other organisations, offering our building and our assets and working with people in partnership to see the kingdom of God flourish in this town. And part of our mission will be to move into the new age of technology. Over the lockdown period, we have seen how more people are viewing our sermons and services online and visiting our social media than are in our congregations. We are reaching more people than are in our congregation, and that will only continue. So we'll be looking at having a new website, which is easy to use and access, which contains all the latest information that we need to get out to people, as well as it being a hub and resource for all of our social media and our media, for people to access easily and see what we're like as a church before they might walk through the doors of a service. I feel that we have been listening to God over these last few months, and as stewards have been discerning and putting all that information together to hear the voice of God for us over the next few years. And I hope that you think that too. I hope that the idea of being part of a church community that wants to change Andover, through being a community of love, of hope and of justice excites you. I hope this is something which you can get on board with. I hope this is what church feels like for you. And if you're not quite there yet, that's fine. Because there are going to be no drastic changes in the next few weeks or the next few months. Well, other than COVID-19, of course. But this idea of being a church community that wants to change Andover, that wants to offer people the love of God, that wants to offer people the hope of Jesus, and that wants to live a just life, partnering with others to tackle the injustices in our town, is something that resonates deep in your soul. And it's my prayer that we would continue to listen to God, to listen to each other, as we discern the mind of Christ and exactly how we do these things.